Your low AMH or ovarian reserve fear is affecting your fertility bandwidth. Now, before your stomach drops, listen to me properly because most ladies hear low AMH and they immediately start thinking, that's it, I'm running out of time, or worse, my body is already shutting the door. But would we really be uncovering what others have missed if we just stopped at that number? You do not need another obvious answer, do you? You need to understand what that number is actually telling us and what it is not telling us because AMH is not your whole fertility story. It's a marker. It gives us information, but it does not tell us how your body is using its energy, and it doesn't tell us the environment that your remaining eggs are living in. Doesn't tell us whether your cells have enough power. It does not tell us whether inflammation, stress, chemistry, blood sugar swings, poor sleep, gut overload, hormone signaling, quietly draining the system that those eggs still depend on. And that is the part that most women are not told clearly enough. Low AMH makes women panic about quantity. But fertility does not only depend on quantity, it depends on what your body can still do with what there still is. Now, that is where your results matter because your answers are showing that your fertility bandwidth is being drained by the pressure around ovarian reserve, by the deeper capacity pattern sitting underneath it. So, listen up, because this is the bit I really want you to get. An egg does not develop in isolation. It grows inside your body's environment and it depends on energy, blood flow, hormone signaling, nutrient availability, inflammation being low enough that the body is not constantly defending itself, and enough spare capacity for your body to support reproduction instead of only keeping you functioning. So when someone says your AMH is low, the useful question isn't like, how do I panic harder? The useful question is, given the eggs I still have, what environment are they being asked to develop in? And how can I make sure that they're the best quality? And that's the conversation that I want you in. Not panic, not denial, proper interpretation. Because if your system is already stretched, throwing more at it does not automatically help. So, more supplements, more protocols, more fertility hacks, more expensive tests, more pressure, more late night research, it can all look logical. If your body is already struggling to regulate, to clear, absorb, to recover, and to produce energy to keep you alive and moving around, more can just keep an already overloaded system working harder. Like pouring more into a sink that's just clogged. It's going to spill out and cause us more problems. That's where women lose months, years. Not because they're not trying, usually because they're trying everything and in the wrong order. And then they blame themselves when the body doesn't respond. That stops here. Your result is not asking you to become more perfect. It's asking you to stop guessing. So think of AMH like a stock take. It tells you something about the stockroom, but it does not tell you whether the factory is running properly. If the lights are flickering, if the machinery is underpowered, if the delivery routes in are blocked, if the workers are exhausted or on strike and the alarm system keeps going off, then shouting about stock levels isn't going to fix production. You need to get the factory working better with what it has. That is what we are doing here. We're not pretending that AMH doesn't matter. It can matter. Age can matter. Time can matter. I'll never insult you by pretending that they don't. But you are not a number first and a living system second. We can't turn back time, but we can stop wasting time on the wrong first step. This is a reset that is about forcing that is not about forcing your ovaries to perform. It's not one magic supplement. It's not a panic protocol that you build at midnight because someone on the internet scared you to death. It's the first clear sequence for a body that needs to use its remaining fertility bandwidth more intelligently. So we start by supporting the conditions that your fertility still depends on, not at once, not aggressively, and not in a way that makes your life smaller, in the right order, because your body doesn't need another thing to fail at. It needs a clear sequence that takes the pressure off you and gives your system a chance to respond. And when my ladies finally understand this, their whole life changes, their whole feeling changes. They stop thinking my AMH means that I'm finished, and they start thinking, my number gave me information, now I know what to do with it. That's what we do, that's the shift. At this point, you might be thinking, should I research a bit more first? And you can, but has research calmed you down so far? Or is it giving you more tabs, more fear, more women's stories to compare yourself to at midnight? You might be thinking, what if this is not everything? Does it need to be everything today? Or does it need to be the right first step, the needle mover that your result has shown that you and your body need? You might be thinking, can I just do this myself? And maybe, but if doing it yourself has meant buying supplements, changing your diet, tracking everything, panicking over every cycle, then ending up exhausted and still not knowing what actually matters first, then is effort really the problem that you're dealing with, or is it sequence? That is what this reset gives you. Not a diagnosis and not a magic promise, not another PDF that sits in your inbox, but a clear, supported sequence to help your body use its fertility bandwidth better, therefore using less for the running of your body and more can go towards growing your child. It's a clear, supported sequence. We're not overloading your body. We're not asking you to try and do the right thing. We're not ignoring the result. So please don't you ignore your results. That's where time matters. So are you ready to stop treating your AMH like a final verdict and start treating it as information that you can act on intelligently? Or are you going back to panic, pressure, and guessing when your result has already shown you where to begin? Start this fertility reset now. No more spiraling over one number. No more throwing everything at your body. No more wasting time on the wrong first step. Let your body rebuild the energy, the rhythm, the stability, and internal environment that your fertility still needs, because this is not about doing more. It's about finally doing the right thing.